All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Okay, guys, so yesterday in the video, we were hitting that 886 Fibonacci, the larger 886, and we were expecting a bit of a pullback to possibly come down to backtest our value area high before continuing higher to break all-time highs. Well, you can see overnight we did pull back a bit. We didn't quite reach the value area high of our range that we're breaking out of, but there is a reason why we bounced where we did bounce, and I will go into that in just a second. But I do think that Bitcoin is going to continue breaking up here, breaking to the upside. We do have some internal liquidity that is just above us that we need to watch for a possible rejection at about 110.8. And the reason I say that, because if we do that 886 Fibonacci pull on Coinbase, we can see that it actually did front run the 886 just very, very barely by a few dollars. You can see here on Coinbase, if I go ahead and zoom in here, you can see that we actually didn't quite touch it. It was a couple dollars short of it. Now, on Bybit, we absolutely did touch the 886, and we did see the rejection from the 886. So because every exchange did not touch that 886, there's a potential that we could come up SFP, the highs from yesterday, and hit SFP, those internal highs, and then see a bit of a move down, seeing a bigger correction, like a WXY correction here, a flat correction, and then hitting this value area high and continuing to break to the upside and break all-time highs. But overall, I still am expecting new all-time highs sooner rather than later. Okay, so let's zoom into the last 24 hours of price action and explain why we bounced where we bounced. So I'm going to zoom in onto the hourly chart here. Actually, not the hourly chart, the 15-minute chart. And let's look at this move down that we saw. So we saw this kind of three-wave corrective move down, found support, and then now been pushing to the upside for a majority of the day here. And if we look at this three-wave corrective move down, if we take our trend-based Fibonacci extension and we go from yesterday's highs to our first initial low up to the secondary highs, you can see where do we bounce? We bounced at our one-to-one Fibonacci extension target. So this could have been just a small intraday ABC correction, bounced from our one-to-one, and now we are continuing to break to the upside. Small correction after the rejection yesterday. We also did see, we were seeing a little descending channel that we broke out of earlier today. This descending channel based off of this. Let's go ahead and pull that. And yeah, breaking out of the channel, back testing the channel now, and we're continuing to push up. So Bitcoin is just doing its thing, continuing to grind to the upside here. I think we're at least going to continue a little bit higher to take out those 110.8 highs, like immediately. But then once we SFP yesterday's high and the 110.8 highs, we'll see if we get a small pullback. If we don't, we're probably going to come up and break all-time high over the next day or two here. But there is a potential that we could see one more rotation down to actually backtest that value area high at 108. Now the value area high has risen just slightly. It was around 107.9 and now it's coming in right at 108, pretty much exactly. So that is an area that I will still be looking to add to my long position if we do come down there. If we do come down to that area and bounce and hold it as support, I will look to add down there to take profit at the all-time highs. And other than that, guys, nothing else has changed on Bitcoin. Still in the range that we've been in for a month. If we zoom out and look at this range, you can see we've been in this upper range for about a month now. Bitcoin is just chopping around and we are getting close to breaking our all-time highs. I do think the same pitchfork levels I showed you yesterday, so on the Coinbase pitchfork, coming up into like 114 to about 116 is an area of interest to look for potential short positions. And then if we look on the bigger, more important pitchfork, the SFP of the all-time high into the pitchfork band around 112.4. And then if we break that 116, once again, 116 is going to be a very key level. But that is kind of what I'm looking at. We are continuing to develop some bear divs here on the charts. You can see higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves. Actually, Not on the 1 hour. There is some bear divs on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute. 15-minute, you can see these bear divs, lower highs, higher highs into yesterday's high. And already right now, if we do break yesterday's highs, we could form another drive of bear div showing this here. And then also we could create a money flow bear div as well. Now, NAMI is printing some local bear divs here real recently, but right afterwards we printed hidden bull divs, and I expected some hidden bull divs to print because we are so close to taking out our highs from yesterday that it's a high probability that we do come take out those highs. If we look at the drop that happened overnight and early this morning, and we take a Fibonacci just from the highs of yesterday to the lows of today, you can see that we did tap the 886 as well. Okay, not on Bybit, but on Coinbase. So once again, these exchanges are a little bit different. But if we take that and we look at Coinbase, we did tap that 886 here very, very locally, now giving us a higher probability to take out yesterday's highs. So that's why I'm expecting to continue to grind up to take out yesterday's highs. And then we'll see what happens once we get there. We can actually set an alert here on this guy to see if we get the swing failure pattern. Okay, that is about it for Bitcoin as far as the price action goes. Now, let's go ahead and look at our liquidation heat map. Now, this is the Model 3 Bybit heat map. You can see that most of the liquidity of the last 1 month, that's about the length of the range, you can see that most of the liquidity locally is above us. It's coming in, breaking the all-time high, or coming up to 112-ish to about 112, 113. And so I do think that liquidity that's just above us is acting as a magnet to continue to bring Bitcoin to break up to a new all-time high. And we also know that since we've tapped the 886, we do have a higher probability to come up and break the all-time high. Going on to our CVD and open interest, there is a couple things here on the chart that are a bit concerning. You can see on our CVD chart, on our open interest, we do have lower highs in the price action right now from yesterday's high, but we have higher highs in the CVD. That is a bearish CVD divergence. Now, it's not absorption because our open interest is decreasing during that time. Now, absorption is the real tradable signal you want to see, but if you're seeing some bearish CVD divergence, that could at least give us a bit more chop within this area here. And so yeah, just be aware that we are seeing some bearish CVD divergence. Also, though, if we look very, very locally, like zooming into the last few hours of price action, you can see very local bullish CVD absorption, which is a more strong signal to look at. And this is why I am expecting to at least come up to take out yesterday's highs. So we have higher highs in the price action here. We have lower lows, in the CVD, and our open interest is increasing. So very, very locally right now, over the past few hours, we are seeing bullish CVD absorption. I'm sorry, guys, bullish CVD absorption, giving me the bias that we are going to kind of continue to grind up to take out yesterday's highs. That is it for Bitcoin. Guys, we do have a couple sponsors of the channel. We have BYDFI. It is a new exchange that I am partnered with. They are a VPN free and KYC free exchange. No KYC required. All you need is an email and a password. They do have a new deal going where if you deposit $100, you can get a $50 bonus. You deposit $500, you can get a $100 bonus. Or if you deposit $1,000, you can get a $200 bonus. So that's really good bonuses that they're giving on any new people who sign up under my affiliate link. And then for whale traders, if you deposit $5,000, you can get a $500 bonus. You deposit $10,000, you get a $1,000 bonus, and $20,000, a $2,000 bonus. They are also offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you move. Link is in the description for them, and they are giving discounts on trading fees, a 17% discount to anyone who signs up under my link, but depending on how much you deposit, you can get higher discounts on your trading fees. And then second is MEXC. They're offering 10% cash back on your initial deposit, and then the $20,000 up to $20,000 in futures trading bonuses depending on how much volume you move. Lastly, we do have NAMI down here. NAMI is the new indicator that I've been using to help me enter and exit trades, give me these bullish and bearish signals, confirmations, and this indicator link is in the description. Right now, they are giving my subscribers a 50% off discount. Divine50 is the discount code. If you're interested in looking at NAMI, link is in the description there. So, okay, on to the next one, on to Ethereum here. Ethereum, guys, Ethereum is breaking up today, continuing to break up and continuing to push to the upside. So yesterday, we were looking at Ethereum. It was breaking the value area high of the range. We came back for a bullish back test of not only the value area high, but of our pitchfork band that was acting as resistance. You can see here, the last few times we've hit into the pitchfork band, resistance rejected to the dollar, resistance rejected to the dollar. We had the deviation, but fell back below, and then resistance and rejected to the dollar. So now that we are breaking the pitchfork band to the upside after a month of trying to break above it, you can see at least locally, we broke above it, back tested it as support, and now we're finally continuing up to hit that weekly level that we've had our eye on for over a month now of resistance. We are seeing a small rejection from the weekly. I would say money flow still looks really strong here. Now we are developing some bear divs on the chart, higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum wave here, but our money flow looks so strong that I do think we might continue a little bit higher. And remember, yesterday I did say this weekly might not actually work as resistance now that we have front run it so closely a couple times, but not actually come up to touch it. So sometimes when you front run a resistance like that so closely multiple times, it won't act as resistance. Just above us though, I do want to talk about a new channel that we're looking at here on Ethereum over the past month. So let me hide this range and let me go ahead and hide the pitchfork real quick. You can see that we have been chopping around. We made a high and then let me get that to the right spot. There we go. Okay, so we made our initial high within the range, we made a secondary high, and then we have our initial low within the range. So if you take a parallel channel, connecting the two highs, bringing it down to the low, you can see that Ethereum is at the top of that channel again, hitting into the top of that channel. This is resistance. Let me just say that. We've been chopping around in a sideways range or a very slightly ascending range over the past month. We're hitting the top of the channel pretty much to the dollar here, and we are at the weekly level. So I did take some profit at the weekly at 28.19, and I am looking for a potential short from this area, but I have not shorted yet just based off of our money flow. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Yeah, and so what we could be looking at here, if Ethereum is going to reject from the top of the channel and the weekly, we could pull our Fibonacci from the lows, our internal lows to our new highs, and let's turn on that golden pocket. You can see that golden pocket is going to be coming in right around the channel midline, around 2600, and this is an area, a local area of support where we could bounce from this area and then continue to break to the upside. Let's turn on our range. Now, this is a bit below our value area high of the range, and generally, after holding above the value area high, you do not want to dump back into it. But very, very locally, I do think we could wick a little bit past, if we reject here, wick a little bit past that value area high, bounce from the golden pocket, reclaim the value area high right away, and then see the continued breakout to the upside up to $3,100. And lastly, let's do our Fibonacci pull from our lows on last Thursday to our new current highs. And you can see the bigger golden pocket is going to be coming in around right at the point of control. So this is now the major level of support. I'm going to go ahead and delete this little box here. This 2556 to 2541, 42-ish, that is a level that I absolutely would be interested in looking to add to my long position if we do come down to this area and bounce from the point of control and golden pocket. Other than that, ETH is looking pretty good here. You can see money flow on the hourly still coming to the upside pretty strongly here. If we zoom out to the 2 hour chart, money flow looking very, very strong here. No real bear divs on the 2-hour. If we go to the 4-hour chart, 4-hour money flow is still rising to the upside. Yes, our momentum wave is topped out, and we could get a small rollover from here. It looks like we are starting to reject from that weekly just a little bit here. Yeah, starting to reject from the weekly just a little bit here. Finally hitting the top of the channel just now. What was that, 15 minutes ago? 15, 20 minutes ago. We do have the bear divs locally. Higher highs, lower highs here. Money flow looks to be topping out even from this area. Higher highs through all of this, lower highs through all this. So we could absolutely get a small pullback from this area. And this is why I did take some profit at that weekly level there, knowing that we could see a bit of a pullback from this weekly zone. But Ethereum is still above the value area high of the range. And we are seeing overall some bullish money flow on the charts. Nami is right now printing some hidden bear divs followed by a bear divs. So yeah, we could get a little bit of a pullback from here. A little bit of a pullback. I would still like to back test this value area high or even come down to this golden pocket. So I think it would be acceptable. We're still just trending within the channel just to come down here. And I would be looking, if we're seeing local bullish divergences at this golden pocket and channel midline or at the larger golden pocket and POC, I would look to add to my longs at both of those positions. Okay, that's pretty much it for Ethereum, though. I mean, the next level of resistance is that golden pocket in confluence with a weekly level and naked weekly point of control up in that area, 3,100, 3,000, 3,000 to like 3,200. We also do have some daily levels up there. A daily level at 3,300, and then we also, weekly level 3,200. So between 31 and 33 is really where I'm going to be looking for Ethereum to possibly top out on this double 1-2 impulse to the upside that I've been talking about for a few weeks now, and really see a bigger correction to the downside. Okay, let's move on to Solana. Now, guys, yesterday on Solana, I was expecting us to get that move up to about 164. I did take profit at 164.2 on my long position. And Solana is at that resistance where the anchored VWAP from the all-time high is coming in right where we're at right now. And that is in confluence with the SFP, this internal SFP of our smaller, lower range highs. You can see this range that I have pulled on the charts right now. This smaller range in here. So we SFP'd these highs into the anchored VWAP, and then also our 0.5 Fibonacci pulled from the highs to the lows is there. I deleted it off the chart, but you guys could see it in the past videos. It's pretty much right in this box. And we are looking like we're trying to find some resistance here, but Solana is quite bullish. And you can see this bullish candle, this big bullish volume candle that came in as the market was about to pump earlier today, right? Before power hour. Solana was the one that led the way. Solana started pumping very aggressively, and then Bitcoin followed, and then some of the other altcoins followed. And I have been talking about, and I know this sounds a little bit ludicrous here, but Solana has really started making moves before Bitcoin, and it's been kind of a leading indicator for Bitcoin. Once Solana really starts pumping, Bitcoin does tend to follow, and the altcoins tend to follow. And I do think because Solana is such a powerful layer one, and it has more profit potential as far as percentages than Bitcoin, a lot of people have been trading on Solana, including myself. And so when Solana starts to move, I do pay attention to Bitcoin and see if Bitcoin's going to follow. And I've been seeing a bit of a trend here with that. But overall, guys, we are at resistance. We could see a small rejection from this area. Very, very locally, we're trying to flip that anchored VWAP to support. And that's a very bullish thing. If we can get above this anchored VWAP and flip it to support, then I do think, first of all, I do think we're going to work our way up to 170 anyways. But the fact is, we might not even see a correction before working our way up there. If we can hold that, we're going to probably continue working our way up to 170 right away. If we do start to lose this purple box, then I expect us to come down to backtest. We do have a naked daily point of control, a new naked daily point of control at 161. But just below that is also the value area high of this smaller range that we're breaking out of. So I expect we could come down to that value area high around 160. And we could see a bounce from the bullish backtest of that value area high to continue up to 170, 170 to 171. If we pull a Fibonacci here, just very, very locally from today's lows to today's highs, you can see that golden pocket is coming in right at 160, right at the value area high. So that is a level, a very, very local support level that we would want to see hold on Solana to continue to remain bullish. Because we're at the resistance zone here, if we do lose 160, then we could see a bigger drop all the way down to 150. And let's pull our Fibonacci from the lows of last Thursday, to our new highs. And you can see that our bigger golden pocket is coming in at the value area low. So the thing is, if we do, we're above the volume profile. If we can come back and bullishly backtest the value area high and flip it to support, it's almost guaranteed that we're going to come higher. If we fall back with inside the volume profile, not only will we most likely fall down to the point of control, but if we lose the point of control, then we fall down to the value area low. And because our golden pocket is also at that value area low, that is an absolute level of support that I will be looking to add to on Solana, knowing that we do have a higher probability to come up to 170. So let's go ahead and draw a box here, because this is strong enough for me where I would like to have this marked out as a support level. This is going to be okay, so that is about it for Solana. Uh, Solana, the golden pocket up at 171. We do have a naked monthly point of control up there. So let me go ahead and come in here. Let's turn on. We have a naked monthly point of control at 171. We have our golden pocket pull from the highs to the lows of the last big move down. You can see golden pockets coming in there, naked monthly point of control. And we have the POC of our prior range up here, this more high range up here. The POC is up there as well. And actually 171 seems to be the better level, because that naked monthly point of control and the 0.65 of the golden pockets there. So really I'm targeting that 161 level. Okay, so, and that's it for Solana. I do expect Solana to continue to kind of push up to that 161 or 171 level. Now, just above that, we do have another naked daily point of control. And then, of course, we have some naked daily point of controls at 178. So if we break 171, then we do have some levels up near 178. So we have a daily that's between, we have a naked daily point of control sandwiched in between two daily levels. And then if we look at that same Fibonacci pull here and we turn on our 786, you can see our 786 is right up there as well. And our value area high of our prior range. So this is the next level of resistance on the charts, would be this guy here between 179 and 176. Let's make that purple, and this is going to be daily times 2. So yeah, just a bunch of confluence up there for a potential rejection as well. Because and the reason why I pay attention so much to the 786 on altcoins is because when Bitcoin tends to reject from the golden pocket very regularly, altcoins do tend to push a little bit more aggressively and reject from that 786 level. So that is why I am marking this out. Also, just the confluence of dailies and naked daily points of control. It does look like we could continue to push up into this area. Yeah, and then we have a weekly that's right below that. Okay, so but that's about it for Solana. We are at resistance. We are trying in the process right now as we speak, very, very locally, to flip our anchored VWAP to support. You can see this anchored VWAP coming in right here. Let me go ahead and hide this box real quick. Anchored VWAP is pretty much exactly where we're at now, and we're trying to flip it to support. If we start to lose it and start to break this kind of wedge that we're seeing down right now, then I do think we are going to at least come down to backtest the value area high. You can kind of see we're forming a wedge here, and I'm talking about this 160 level, 159 level. Um, yeah, and I explained to you guys that I could potentially be looking to add to the long here, but really I would like to add to the long at the value area low at 150. All right, that is it for Solana. Let's go on to SUI. Guys, SUI finally did come up to our purple box of resistance that we've had marked out on the charts. You can see wicked even a little bit past our monthly level, and we are at resistance. So yes, our bigger channel midline, you can see we've been in this channel. We looked for the long at the bottom of the channel. Very, very nice long to take. And we're above the midline now because the midline was falling as time was passing here. So the midline, we're above the midline. And even today, earlier today, we did actually backtest that midline and hold it as support. You can see after making the highs on earlier today, we dropped, back tested the midline. We're holding the midline. Right now, we're coming up to a lower high golden pocket and rejecting that lower high golden pocket. So this could be the start of a bearish shift trend, but it's not there yet. We are at the bigger resistance, guys. This area was this purple box was the big resistance. We have a macro 382 there. We have a monthly level. We have the value area low of our higher range. This whole range, excuse me, is pretty much in this area. And then we have the channel midline, which is a bit below, and a naked daily point of control. So it is an area where we could expect to find some resistance. Let's see, did we actually hit that golden pocket? Yeah, okay. So this golden pocket pull, I was just looking at this to see if we were going to reject. So we made our initial highs, came down, bounced from the channel midline. Now we come up to a lower high golden pocket, and we're seeing a bit of a rejection from that lower high golden pocket. So if we do drop here, we could take out just these range lows at about these internal day intraday range lows at like 336. If we start to lose 336, I think we could see a bigger dump. If we don't just SFP 336, we are going to probably see a bigger dump to the downside. And in that case, let's zoom out to the hourly chart. Yeah, in that case, I would expect a move down maybe to this anchored VWAP at 317. Let's go ahead and pull our fib here. Golden pocket. Okay, golden pocket's a little bit below that anchored VWAP. But I like this golden pocket here because you can see all these internal lows are resting right below there. So we had a nice clean push up, little dead cat drop, kind of some chop here. So all the lows of this chop is into that golden pocket, and the anchored VWAP's close by. We are developing some bear divs on the chart on the hourly on SUI. You can see higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Now, our money flow still looks pretty strong. It is starting to top out on the hourly, though. And this is an area where we are at resistance. So we could expect a possible rejection to come in at resistance. That's why we were looking to TP up in this area. Now, I think on SUI, I did not long this down here, but I took profit up at the value area low and the channel midline, and got out of that trade. So I'm no longer at a SUI trade. I'm in like 7 or 8 positions right now on Bitcoin and like 6 or 7 altcoins, 6 or 7 different altcoins, AVAX being one of them, XRP being one of them as well, but no longer in SUI. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Well, no, before we move on, so SUI is at the value area low of our big upper range this past since April. So, a little bit over a month here, we've been chopping within this channel. We are above the midline of the channel, and we are above the value area low of the range now. So as long as we can maintain above the value area low and the midline of the channel, we could continue to push up. And the next big box of resistance, I would say, is up here between 382 and 390. That is going to be, we have a naked monthly point of control and a naked weekly point of control. We have a bigger golden pocket up there and our macro value area high, which is actually now shifted to our macro point of control. Not macro point of control, but the point of control of the range. So let me actually, oh yeah, point of control's in there as well. But macro value area high is actually a little bit higher. It's now shifted up to 402. So that general area is the area I'm going to be looking for the next resistance area. So if we do come down and or chop around in here for a bit and start to break out to the upside, I think we're going to come up to 390. That's it for SUI. Let's go on to XRP. XRP is still just chopping slowly, guys. We haven't quite come up to the naked monthly point of control. Now, I am long on SUI from down in this area, or not SUI, XRP from down in at the macro value area low. And I did say that I'm looking ultimately to come up to 241 to 245, where our big box of resistance is. But I will say this, I now plan to take some profit at this naked monthly point of control. Just the way that this is pushing up here, I do think we could get a small rejection from this naked monthly point of control. So I'm going to take some profit up here. And then if we get a retrace from that area, I will be looking to re-add to that long to bring up to the big large range point of control in confluence with the top of the channel, anchored VWAP from the all-time high. So I am still expecting a move up to 241 to 245, but a small pullback before then, and I will look to take profit here and re-add to it at appropriate levels. If we look at our Fibonacci pull from the lows to our highs that we made earlier today, you can see this golden pocket coming in around 216 is going to be a decent level, because if we look at our volume profile just of this small little range, value area low is coming in right around that golden pocket. You can see that our point of control has shifted. That's where we bounced from earlier today. The lows of today, we're bouncing from the point of control, and we are just kind of chopping around the value area high of this range, rejecting the value area high. So if we lose the point of control, there's a possibility we come down all the way to the value area low, which is right next to that golden pocket. And I would be looking to add to my long at that golden pocket. What I would like to see first is a push up to the naked monthly point of control, reject that, fall back within the volume profile, lose the point of control, and then come down to the golden pocket. Also, what that would do is shift our golden pocket. Let me go ahead and leave that on there. But what that would do is if I take this Fibonacci pull and I just bring it up to that naked monthly point of control, you can see that golden pocket would be in much closer alignment with the value area low. So that's what I would like to see. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but if we do continue to push up, reject from that naked monthly, I will take profit there. And then if we come down to 217, 216, I will look to re-add here, expecting to come up to 245. But other than that, XRP is just chopping sideways like it has for the last 6 months. And I do think overall XRP is primed to break out, break out of this channel, flip this point of control to support and continue much, much higher. It's just we need to be patient. We could see another rejection and another rotation down before then. So being real patient with that. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for on XRP. You can see that our value area high has shifted a little bit higher. It's now at that 258, 258.4. which is our next box of resistance above us. Okay, that is it for XRP. Now let's go on to Chainlink. Guys, yesterday in the video, I had my long position on the charts. Let's see, did I delete that? Dang. Okay, well, anyways, we longed down in this area here, and I did have a TP2 set at that pitchfork band of resistance, and I did tell you that because of the internal highs that were resting there in confluence with that pitchfork resistance, that I would be looking for a TP in that area. Well, you can see we did continue working our way up to that area overnight, saw a small rejection from that area, but made a higher low and then broke back within the band. So Chainlink is looking strong. In my next TP area, which I only have about 30% of the trade running, is going to be that area there. Let's see. Let's just do that there. That's not the perfect entry, but I'm just going to throw that on the chart for a second. So yeah, guys, and actually let me, oh, here it is. Right there. Okay, so let me get rid of that guy. And yeah, next TP level is actually going to be up at this golden pocket area here. Internal highs, golden pocket, and we'd be breaking out of this channel though. So let me go ahead and go into some of this stuff here. Saw that kind of inverse head and shoulders bottom type pattern here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, starting to break that to the upside. And I think, we bounced from the bottom of the channel. You can see this descending channel that we had, small deviation, got back within the channel bounce. So coming up into this area above us, just above us, we do have some resistance just above us. And it's a bit tricky here because our golden pocket's running in at 16.1. You can see we have some internal highs there right above that. But just below that, we have the top of our descending channel around 15.8. If we turn on our naked daily point of controls, we do have a naked daily point of control at 15.8 as well. So naked daily point of control is right below our golden pocket, and then also the top of our pitchfork band is right in that area. So unfortunately, like this general area here, if we expand this box a little bit from the SFP up here at, and I know that's kind of a big area of resistance, 16.19 or 16.2 pretty much, all the way down to about 15.7. This area is we have a lot of confluence of resistance in that area. So we probably could refine this down a little bit. I think that naked daily point of control at 15.8 is going to be kind of appropriate to look at because it's also the top of our descending channel. And there's still a possibility that we could continue to grind down in this channel a bit. We still haven't back tested the value area high of this small range since we broke out of it. And you can see that value area high is going to be coming in around the channel midline. So if we do get a rejection, we could roll down to that. And I would like to say yesterday we were looking at this push being a potential three-wave move. Now it is starting to look more like a five-wave impulse, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rather than a three-wave move. But there's still a possibility this is a three-wave move. And if we look at our trim-based Fibonacci extension and we pull that, you can see we are in the target zone for a rejection. Between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236 is our rejection area. You can see a couple rejections already from the 1.236. So if this is just a three-wave correction, we're probably going to roll over in this general area where we're at right now and start to drop to the downside. And we could drop, to take out our lows that we had bouncing from our macro golden pocket, our more macro golden pocket. But let's go ahead and turn on the volume here. With the big spikes up in volume that we're seeing, the rise in volume as we're pushing up here in this potential C or potential 3, if it's a 3, we're going to continue breaking up. It is looking like this could be the start of an impulse here. But the one concerning thing, guys, again, if in an ABC correction, your C wave generally ends on a giant spike in volume. Well, coming up into our 1.236 here, giant spike in volume right up into our resistance area. So if you are long on Chainlink, this is an area to at least take some profit to look for, a bit of a correction to the downside, a bit of a dump to the downside, not even a correction, a dump to the downside. I think I did take some profit at that 1.236 earlier today, but it was only like 10% more because I had closed out so much of my position already. So I'm happy with the trade that I've got on Link. But that's about it for today, guys. Let's check Bitcoin very, very quickly here, see what Bitcoin's up to. Just consolidating here, just consolidating a bit. I do think we are going to come up a little bit higher to break that internal high, at least yesterday's highs. So thank you all for tuning in. If you got anything out of this video, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow.